I gotta add more. By the way, we're at 41 followers. I'm almost at 50 so that I can actually come on here live and share a whole word without being on a time limit. I cannot wait. But I'm doing the best I can, so have grace. I just want to elaborate more. This word is burning in my heart. We are forgiven. We are forgiven. We are forgiven. You are forgiven. Remember when I shared how God told me not to be afraid of my testimony? That's when a real life, when you're really surrendered for God, you realize that He knows what you've done with your life. And because we have the promise of Romans 8:28, He will work all things for the good of those who love Him, those who are called according to His purposes. He breaks off the sin of shame and guilt. And you have to understand that's replaced with now the understanding that the very worst thing that you've ever done actually brings Him glory. And it makes the devil so mad because he's like, no, you did this thing and you need to hide in a rock for the rest of your life and feel shame because you failed big time and you did all these things. And grace says, no, you are not to hide. You are to shine and tell the world what you've been through. Tell the world that you have fallen short. Tell the world how the enemy tried to take you out, but I redeemed you in my love. Let me tell you, the enemy has been trying to take me out since I was a child. And when I found Christ, I was so young. I was baptized in the Holy Ghost before I even knew what baptism of the Holy Ghost meant. And I was praying and singing in the Spirit before I even understood what it meant to pray and sing in the Spirit. And I grew up in a great church. God brought me lots of spiritual moms and dads. But life was hard. I felt like I was always trying to measure up to the grace I had encountered. And the Lord was like watching me through all that season. And He was the wheat and the weeds. The parable of the wheat and the weeds. He was watching me grow up in Him. And there was so much good that He was going to keep. But He knew when the right time would come to pull all the weeds out of my life. But there was no condemnation. And there's no condemnation for where you are right now. The good and the bad grow together. And then the Father comes as long as you're submitted, as long as we're in grace and we believe and we love Him. It's like we're in the grace ark of the covenant. If you fall, you fall in the ark. You're not falling out into the water, where there's unbelief. You're in the covenant of grace. So if you fall, it's Micah 7:8. Don't gloat over me, enemies, for though I stumble 7 times, I will rise. And every time we stumble, we bring Him glory.